Hey YouTube, so I'm going to answer the question of where to shop online. Whether it's for streetwear, for urban wear, or for luxury fashion clothes, it's a question I remember having a few years ago when I first got into the culture. And for me, it was more about what online fashion store can I trust and get quality pieces from at a decent price. So today I'm going to share with you the top 5 online fashion stores that I use. Let's get right into it. Alright guys, I'm going to start off with ASOS. ASOS is a fan favorite. I mean, what's not to like? ASOS is a pretty popular online marketplace. It has pretty much everything under the sun. I mean, we have Topman here with some bit more formal fits. On the clothing, we have all these different categories, even swimwear. And then over here, we have Shop by Edit, which I actually really like. Has some stuff that's a bit more out there. Some stuff that's hard to find, like festival wear, holiday fits, weddings, workwear, you name it. I mean, they even have shoes. I'll just quickly scroll through some. A lot of variety for sure. Maybe a bit too much variety. But jokes aside, I mean, ASOS has a lot of the fundamentals. So if you're looking for, let's say we go over here and go to t-shirts. You're looking for some basic graphic tees, some oversized fits, some vintage stuff, some sportswear. I mean, ASOS has the work. So just have a scroll through and have a look. They also have a lot of stuff for sale, like you can see over here. 30-20% off. It's not a bad deal, and you can get some really quality stuff if you're looking for, ASOS branded things, or even like brands like Nike. Like this is a cool vintage shirt. Maybe pick that up at some point. Then if you're looking for something a bit more formal or something to, throw over a fit, I actually really like this flannel. I think if you get this in a large or XL, you could definitely throw it over fits. A lot of good options for formal shirts here if you go to work. Yeah, some great stuff for sure. Scroll through quotes really quickly to give you guys an idea. I mean, yeah, they just have a range of stuff, so definitely check these out if you're just want to look through some really basic fundamentals. Nothing too niche, nothing too fancy, somewhere in between. I think ASOS is definitely good. Yeah, good for the rotation for sure. So check them out. Alright guys, next up we have Boohoo. Boohoo is just ASOS's little brother in my opinion. I mean, ASOS and Boohoo have a lot of the same offerings. They have a lot of the same categories, maybe even some new ones from Boohoo. But I think vice versa for ASOS as well. There'll be some stuff on there that Boohoo doesn't have. Some of the same stuff, party wear, festival fits, workwear, same sort of dig. But I think the real differentiator here is the prices on Boohoo. So if we just look at the t-shirts, for example, these prices on some of these tees are quite cheap. $19, $10, $6 for a t-shirt. I mean, that's unheard of. So their prices are definitely competitive, which is impressive. In saying that, I have heard some ethical PR around how they get these low prices, but take that with a grain of salt. I have also had friends buy a couple of pieces from Boohoo, and they haven't had the best reviews. I had my brother buy a printed shirt, and there was a lot of frailing towards the corners. I wish I had it with me so I could show you guys. But yeah, that's definitely something that Boohoo struggles with in terms of quality. But on the flip side, I've also heard some good reviews and people getting really cheap clothes that are made fairly well. So there's definitely two sides to that coin. So that's pretty much Boohoo. Similar to ASOS, a little bit cheaper. That's basically it. Alright guys, so next we have Grailed. Grailed is honestly one of my favorite fashion online stores. You can get everything from luxury to basic streetwear and everything in between. I use Grailed more of like a resale website, so picking up resale items from older collections and different releases. So how Grail's website is laid out, we have designers here at the top left, so we can go through different designers on their website. If you're looking for something a bit more specific, we can browse by category. And you can go through these tabs to have a look at what you're looking for. I think another one that's useful is staff picks. Definitely a lot of good gems in staff picks, so take a look. I'll just show you guys what Grailed's all about. type in a basic streetwear brand like Off-White, we can look through some of their pieces. There's definitely a lot of variety on Grailed. There's like this airport tape oversized Off-White tee. I mean, I think that's great. I'm pretty sure it's close to retail, but not a bad price. A lot of different types of pieces on Grailed. So just have a look and see what you're looking for. Something a bit more basic, like graphic tees. I mean, there's so much variety on Grailed. Everything that's posted on Grailed is by normal users, so there's just heaps and heaps of variety. That's a pretty cool tee. Alright, the next thing I wanted to talk about was the users. So like I mentioned, all of the posts are made by just normal people. So what you want to look for is not this. This is an example of a user that has no transactions, so they've never bought or sold anything, and they only have one listing. In my opinion, that's pretty sketchy, so I would stay away from buying from users like this. So I would just make sure they're checked. Obviously this authentication is useful, but also that the actual user or person that's selling the item has listings, that has good feedback, etc. I think that's pretty obvious. So like a user like this, for example, 17 transactions and 8 5-star reviews. So I think that's pretty good. This is a user that I would normally trust when buying on Grailed. But yeah, definitely check out Grailed. A lot of good options, but check for the users thing, like I said, when buying. Another thing I wanted to mention was Grailed also makes you use PayPal. So if you ever buy something from someone like this and have a bad experience where you don't get the item, or they just stop talking to you on Grailed, you can send a report in through PayPal, and most of the time I found that you can get your money back. So that's definitely a huge plus for using Grailed. Alright guys, next up we have Essence. Essence is a multi-brand retailer based in Montreal. Essence specializes in high-end streetwear and luxury clothing items. So I'd only recommend Essence if you're specifically looking to spend a bit more money, pick up some more niche pieces for your rotation. So I'm going to go into menswear. Something I wanted to point out was Essence's website layout. So I love how clean and modern it looks. I think they're really trying to reflect the aesthetic of some of the designers that they host. So yeah, it's really nice. I fuck with it a lot. So I'll just quickly go over the Essence's layout. Obviously we have the menswear and womenswear at the top here with the search bar. We have categories on the left if you want to look for specific items, or we can go through designers, which is I think what's really key on Essence. So I'll just quickly scroll through this list. You'll notice some popular designers: Balenciaga, Balmain, Calvin Klein, Comme des Garçons, D2, Fendi, Gucci. A lot of popular designers, a lot of probably niche ones you never heard of before. Another great way to sort of find some inspiration and find some new designers. So I'll just quickly go into Gucci, for example. They have everything. So there's a lot of different pieces. It's not just clothing. A lot of accessories, etc. So have a look through. If you think there's too much clutter, you can obviously further that search down by clicking clothing and just looking at clothing, for example. So yeah, that's basically Essence. Another thing to look at is the sales section. I think there's a lot of hidden gems in the sales section, like $100 off these actual Arigato sneakers. I mean, that's quite a good deal. So there's definitely some good pieces in here. So have a look. You might find something you like. Alright guys, so finally we have Depop. Depop is really similar to Grailed in my opinion. But I think the difference for me is Depop has somehow managed to filter out the noise. If that makes sense, so I'll show you guys what I mean. I just did a quick search for vintage tee men, and I think when you do this on Grailed, you get a lot of BS, a lot older shirts, not really vintage tees. So I think Depop has somehow managed to filter out that noise, and you're left with actually decent results and some quality vintage shirts. Depop also has great pricing in my opinion. Like I don't think you'd find some of the same low price tees on Grailed. In saying that, I think there's a lot more Australian users on Depop, so I think that's why it's probably cheaper, because Grailed's all in USD, not AUD. Also, Depop would have Australian users, so the shipping will be cheaper for me, So I think that's why I also use Depop as opposed to Grailed, especially when I'm looking for something a bit more basic in terms of clothing. But yeah, I mean, I definitely think Depop can also do the opposite. So if we look for, let's not do Off-White this time, let's do Gucci, for example. I think Depop has a lot of the same stuff Grail does. You can also have luxury clothes as well as basic stuff. So I mean, there wasn't as many, a few Gucci items at the top, and now we're getting a bit more clutter. Some Gucci stuff here. But yeah, I think when we're looking for high-end stuff, when it comes to resale, it'd be Grailed. But Depop's definitely a good option. So have a look. Same as Grailed. Obviously, some of the items aren't going to exist on one website and exist on the other. So take a look at both and try to find the best price, obviously, when you do buy items. So yeah. Alright, anyway guys, I'm going to wrap the video up. I hope you guys liked that one. I wouldn't really say one's better than the other. I think all of the different websites are used for different purposes. So I think use them all depending on what you're looking for, the price point, the items, etc. So I hope you guys enjoy that one. I hope you have a good day, and I hope you guys like and subscribe. So peace and love, baby.